Chancellor, Mr. Robert Bermudez, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Host Principal, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Brian Copeland, our distinguished guests, graduating class of 2018. It gives me great honor to stand here representing the Faculty of Social Sciences, graduating class of 2018 with this valedictorian address. Now, I wanted to start off this speech with an inspirational quote from one of my favorite philosophers, a man of true wisdom, Drake. Started from the bottom, now we're here. There aren't more appropriate words for this momentous occasion because we did start from the bottom. We entered year one, wide-eyed, fresh-faced, and thanks to UWI sun, possibly 2 skin tones lighter than we are now. Now, entering UWI reminded me of driving on my own for the first time. It was a novel and exciting experience, and a greater sense of independence. We no longer had a strict dress code as in secondary school. We were free to create our own timetable, and we could have actually chosen if we wanted to attend lectures or not. And I mean, if you had 8 a.m. lectures, I think we know what choice you made. We had to struggle to find our way around campus. By the way, I still don't know where ENG3 is. We had to find new and creative ways of parking because Lord help you, parking. For some of you, greater independence came from living on your own for the first time. You had a luxury of watching Netflix for any amount of hours without someone constantly breathing down how much work you have to do. You did not have to report your every move to your parents or guardians. And you didn't have a negative opinion on how having KFC 2 times a day, 5 times a week isn't healthy for you. Now, as the years went on, as it is with driving, we adapted and we grew accustomed to the university life. We learned a myriad of lessons, some in a classroom, but some of the more important ones, I'm sure you can agree, could not have been taught in a textbook. We unearthed and developed new skills, time management, budgeting, attaining a higher tolerance for alcohol, power napping, the ability to go to a lecture only once to get exam hints and still manage to pass with an A. And as it is with any great journey, we created a multitude of memories with our classmates, our friends, even lecturers and staff. Memories I, for one, will forever treasure. At the risk of sounding like a cliche, as on many drives, there were a few bumps on the road, or in Trinidad's case, huge potholes. From the robberies on campus to the stress of finals, we UWI students had a lot to endure. Moments of wanting to hand in a towel arose multiple times, and sometimes attaining a degree just did not seem worth all the stress. Along with academic challenges, several of us encountered additional hardships. Loss of family or friends, heartbreaks, health complications, heartbreaks, financial difficulties, heartbreaks. But whatever our battles, we did not give up. We fought, we endured, and as the latter part of Drake's quote says, now we are here. In psychology, one of the major debates among theorists is the dichotomy of free will versus determinism. Determinists believe that the universe has life planned out for you. No matter what choices you make, your life will turn out the same. Whereas persons who believe in free will believe that you have influence over your life outcomes. You have the ability to make choices and determine your path in life. Personally, I like to believe in free will. I believe that you have control over your life, and not only can you choose which path to take, you can create your own path. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the paths I urge you to take is that of making the world a better place. The late Dr. Eric Williams, Trinidad and Tobago's first Prime Minister, addressed the first graduating class of Jamaica in 1963. He told the graduates, "This education qualifies you to work for the community." That is to say, don't utilize this degree selfishly. You were afforded this invaluable opportunity of attaining your degree in this prestigious institution. I beg of you, do not take it for granted. And most importantly, Do not use it for self-serving purposes. Journalist Tom Brokaw neatly summed it up. You may think of this certification as a ticket to the good life. Instead, think of it as your ticket to change the world. There is a world out there starving for honest leaders who do the right thing all the time, innovators who create for the welfare of people and not only bottom line, persons who genuinely care about the environment, and persons who dare to dream about making a positive impact on society. The world is starving for you. Now, if we had $1 for every time a person told us that SoSci were the slackers of UWI, I think we'd be rich enough to justify our slack. There are going to be people who judge you based on your faculty, credentials, their limited knowledge of your capabilities, and on their small-minded thinking. They will doubt you and even attempt to make you doubt yourself. Luckily, you have free will. You can either let that doubt define you or let it motivate you. I majored in psychology, and I got this all the time from my family, friends, and even strangers. Psychology, what are you going to do with that? I'd like to take this moment to share exactly what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to be an instrument of change. The stigma of mental health is plaguing our nation so much so that persons are not only taking their own lives, but the lives of others. I intend to change that. I intend to utilize this degree to the benefit of not myself, but of others, to be of service to others, because that is what the world needs. FSS graduates of 2018, I put to you, you have the power to instigate change in the world. We can think of so many things wrong in this world that needs fixing, but who better to bring forth such change than those who yearn it? Our 3+ years of attending this university gifted us tools, and when we are given tools, what do? We build, we create. Use your knowledge gained, be it academic or non-academic, to create a more beautiful world. Build for yourself, build for society, build for families, and build for the generations to come. As the saying goes, leave the world a better place than what you found it. Your change does not need to be big for it to be impactful. Rosa Parks, by simply saying no, ignited one of the most successful mass movements against racial segregation in history. While some of us may not gain independence for a country like Dr. Eric Williams, or be the first female prime minister like Kamala Persad-Bissessar, each of us, by consistently doing our small bits, can spark change in society. As I come to a close, I urge you to not limit yourself. Do not let the words of others, your own self-doubt, or the fear of you being too small to change this big world limit you from leaving your mark on this earth. You owe it to yourself and for the betterment of society to not let that fear cripple you, but rather let it serve as a motivational force in the realization of your passion. I leave you with the words of Mother Teresa. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. As we walk out of here, let each of us cast our own unique stone. Thank you, and congratulations to the graduates of 2008.